Yo, what's up guys? Mayor Mass here and welcome back to another video. So before we get into what we're going to talk about today, please make sure to like and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about Zoe Laverne, and we're not only going to be talking about her story, but we're going to be talking about the recent stuff that's come out. Zoe Laverne was and is still surprisingly a popular TikTok star to this day. And I guess you could say that I'm very impressed with it because she is very problematic, especially with everything she's done on the platform. I'm surprised she's not off of it. One of the first instances of her being problematic is of a very infamous clip of when she was crying and she called Charlie D'Amelio a bitch because she passed her in followers on TikTok. You're gonna look at Zoe and you're gonna tell that she's got that blonde girl from Mean Girls kind of complex. So get ready for a lot of that.
I've been literally crying about this for like an hour because it's just so like pathetic that like she just comes in and like almost like she's so close to passing me and everybody's reminding me that she's gonna pass me, and I just want to prove this I am better than her because I am Zoe Laverne and I am literally the star of TikTok, and TikTok is putting me down and boosting her up, and I'm about to go to TikTok headquarters and strangle their necks.
This clip is from 2020 to 2021, so it was the prime TikTok era where everybody wanted to pop off. So, of course, she wanted to be the star of TikTok, but in reality, there is no star of TikTok. It was just a bunch of girls just dancing and doing stupid shit on the platform at this time. There was no star. And she wants to sit and say that Charlie is pathetic and all this. What is this? You're on the floor crying about it for an hour that somebody passed you in followers on TikTok of all things. Like, you could probably do a couple TikToks and get that back in the day, but nah, she cried about it for the hour. And not only is Zoe Laverne problematic, she's a predator. I mean, probably not now, but in my book, once a predator, always a predator, so I really could care less what people think of her. I know that TikTok stood up for her when this situation came out, and I do not know why whatsoever, especially after what came out a couple days ago. I really hope everybody that stuck up for Zoe is ashamed of themselves. Really? So the situation that happened about 3 or 4 years ago is Zoe and a 13-year-old got into a relationship behind the scenes, and a video of them kissing ended up floating around the internet. And obviously, Zoe, with her big TikTok career, had to really try and shut everything down, but she just came out swinging with the most terrible response, trying to lie about it, saying nothing ever happened, not even the fact that they dated.
Do anything with a 13-year-old minor. My career is set on minors. I have little kids that look up to me on a daily basis. Yes, maybe in my past I've done things that is not very mature to do in front of minors and, vaped whatever in front of them. If that was the case, that was the case, etc. But the fact of people saying that I raped my best friends that was a supporter of me for 3 years is unacceptable, disgusting, makes me sick to my stomach, literally makes me want to throw up. I can't even ever imagine doing something like that, considering I know what's right and wrong. I've grown up. I've matured. I know what's right and wrong. Yes, maybe I make some mistakes sometimes. Maybe I do some things on social media that's not very appropriate, but I wouldn't do something like that.
Every statement in this video, and I mean every statement, is going to spoil like milk. And the way that she peddles the fact that her fan base is mainly children, to dodge the fact of what she did is so disgusting, or to try to use it as a shield is so disgusting. It's like if a teacher gets caught with a student and she just goes and says, "Well, my job deals with children, so how could I have done that?" Then the victim himself, I think, came out at this time, but he got a lot of backlash, but he came out with a lot of evidence that was damaging to her career, at least a little bit, but not enough to where it got her shut down. I just don't know how this happened. I really don't know how people stuck up for her. So, from what I found, there were people with brains at this time, and they went to question her on Insta, and it did not go well.
We both liked each other, and then we realized that the ages were too different. Nothing happened between us besides kissing, and I'm saying that now, like, I'm really sick of people thinking that we did other stuff besides kiss. There's a video going around of people saying that it's me and Connor, and it's like of these like two people doing something like nasty, and that's not us. All the videos that were leaked of Connor and I were us kissing, and I just wanted to come on live and let you guys know that it stopped months ago. It hasn't been a thing for a while now. Connor and I don't have communication right now due to our parents both agreeing to cut our contact and give us both time to heal and from social media, because social media is very toxic to us right now. And we're both just kind of hurting. We're trying to like laugh off the situation because we both realized back then that it was just like not right and that the ages weren't.
Gotta love how she starts off with, "We didn't expect this to happen." Like they weren't gonna get caught, like she didn't expect them to get caught. And then turns around and says the video that came out online was not them, but a whole plethora of other videos came out were them. So that makes no sense whatsoever. Just admit it. That video was you and Connor. Just admit it. It would have been better for her if she did, because her mother came out about the situation, and it doesn't make any of it better. Especially since it's her mother. It should have been at least Connor's mother coming out and saying, "Hey, my son is okay." But we never got that kind of confirmation. We got this. We got Connor getting overshadowed by Zoe because Zoe just has that influence, and the power dynamic as well. Just being over 5 years of age and getting in a relationship with a 13-year-old is just heinous.
Anybody can reach over and kiss somebody. They're best friends, and this needs to stop, you guys. Why are you doing this?
I guess in that caption it says "rest in peace," and I really don't know if she's passed on or not, but even so, why is she sitting here defending this? If this was my daughter, I would be locking down everything. I would be shutting down all of her accounts, no matter how old she is. I really could care less. Some audio of a call of Zoe came out talking about everything she did with the victim, or Connor. I guess I'll just call him Connor because he's full on exposed himself now. Well, not really exposed himself. He didn't do nothing wrong, but he's finally came out, and I really hope he does get the justice that he deserves here.
I've been like sitting here staring at the wall for like 2 hours. What happened? And I just feel like I lost everything. And I feel like I'm just such a failure. I don't have anyone to talk to. And it feels like everything is just gone. Everything that I love, my best friend's gone. My career's basically over. take it back, but you could cut me off, Sean.
I can be your best friend.
That's not the point, Sean.
It's just that, like, he was one person that I could trust. Because he never gave me a reason not to trust him, and I could talk to him about anything. And he was just always there. And it just upsets me that everybody else can talk to him but me, and then my career is just gone. Every influencer unfollowed me that I was friends with. And Charlie sent me a DM that really...
First off, why is she looking so hard to confide into a 13-year-old? What about this 13-year-old is so great that you have to go to him in specific? You could go to your family members, you could go to somebody that's older and possibly understands you better, but no, you chose a 13-year-old and now you're here crying about a 13-year-old, or she was, and it's crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, I was floored when I heard that dude go, "Can I be your best friend?" That is so stupid. Who is that guy? And as you can see, she's just sitting here crying like she does about any other problem in life. I bet she did it a lot as a kid as well. She had to do homework when she got home from school, cry. She didn't get her favorite toy, cry. Her mother didn't cook her favorite dinner that day, cry. She just can't take accountability and never did, and it's crazy. So at this time, she was dating another influencer, I think, named Cody Orlov, and they came out to talk about the situation about her cheating on him, and I really feel like this video was made to divert the attention that she dated a minor and wanted to change that into "I cheated on my boyfriend." It's disgusting both ways. I've also seen Cody on TikTok saying that he hopes Connor is better and that he wants him to get the justice as well, just giving Connor his flowers and everything, you know. So Cody is not really a bad guy in the story, in my opinion. It doesn't really seem like he is. It just seems like he was the boyfriend and he just got caught up in it. And even he was uncomfortable, I guess, with Zoe sometimes, but we're going to talk about that later on too.
March 2nd, 2019, Zoe cheated on me, and that was never supposed to happen.
So before I talk about Connor's response that came out a couple days ago to all of this, we gotta talk about some real crazy stuff that she did with her own newborn baby. And it's really weird having these kinds of allegations, and to do something like this just really is not looking good for her. It was about a year or two ago, and she had a child. And you want to know what she did with said child? Sold pictures of it newborn for $15. And we're gonna know why right now.
Okay, so I look like crap right now. I'm laying in bed. I'm recovering from a C-section right now, but I did want to post a video and explain to you guys about the exclusive pictures that I posted about my baby, and and had people pay $15 to see them, and the reason why I did it, because it does look really messed up, but I'll explain better. So first of all, this is my first time being a mom, and during my pregnancy, I had a bunch of death threats and people saying that they were going to kill her, and people saying that they hope she died, all this stuff. And it was really, really scary to me, and I talked to my fiance about it, and we literally had so many conversations about how I'm so worried to post her face because I don't want people to hate on her and bring her down and stuff, and which is whatever. If you hate on a baby, you're weird anyways, but I still was overthinking it all, and I didn't know what else to do in order for only my supporters to see her and not the people that hated. So I thought, oh, okay, well, me and my team decided, well, maybe if I made a link and people had to pay $15 to see her, that the haters, like the people that wished death threats on her, whatever, they wouldn't care enough to pay to see her, and only my supporters that actually support me and love me would pay to see her. So we created the link and we posted it, and I realized that it looked super, super bad. And I have a lot of people starting rumors about me, like talking about me, saying I'm a bad mom and stuff. I promise you, I'm so new to this. I really don't know like what the right way and what the wrong way is to do on this. I'm just trying to protect my baby and myself because I don't know. Like, I was just scared. But all the money that I did receive off of the like exclusive pictures of Emerson, I am going to be saving for her needs, as in her diapers, her wipes, and obviously her hospital bill, because she was lifelined to a children's hospital to be put into the NICU when she was born. But don't worry, she's okay. She was just having some complications when she was born. I had an emergency C-section, and I also was having complications. And with the rest of the money that I made, I am going to be donating it to other mothers with children that need it, because I know it's hard to be a first-time mom sometimes, and even people that aren't first-time moms and you have complications during your pregnancy, and hospital bills are expensive and stuff. So I will be helping those people as well. I will be donating the rest of the money. But yeah, so basically, I'm so sorry if I offended anybody. I understand why people would be upset or think that I would sell pictures of my baby. That's so messed up. I would never do that. I wasn't thinking of it in that way, and that's why I took the pictures down after I posted it, because I felt bad and I just posted her face. But thank you so much, and I hope you guys understand and forgive me and come along with me on my journey of being a new mom. I'm learning.
The fact that she made money off of this is disgusting. And not only that, an amount of money to where she's like, I'm gonna pay for my child to be taken care of, plus some. What? Now, let's play with this fact a little bit, that she made a lot of money off of this. I really don't think that she was gonna give any of it to charity. I feel like she's only saying that, or she did say that, because she got caught here. And she sits and says that people were threatening her child, so her rebuttal is to start putting pictures of her out there and to put a paywall behind it so fans could see her. Why do your fans have to see her? Why are you so narcissistic and egotistical to where they have to see her? Why not just make a post, say it happened, and keep it under wraps? Maybe this would have never happened if you just did that. So a couple days ago, Connor made a 10-minute video on TikTok and dropped a part 2 the day after with hardcore evidence. And we're going to look at basically the cliff notes of both of these videos, because what's in both of these videos is really damaging to her career. And I have seen people talk about it, but I haven't really seen people talk about it from this sphere in specific. And I really feel like we gotta shed some light on Zoe Laverne, because she really should not have the platform she has now.
My name is Connor, and at the age of 13, I was statutory R-worded by a popular TikTok influencer. This happened 5 years ago, and I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with the situation, and it's taken me a while to come to terms to talk about it. It's taken me a very long time to talk about this solemnly because of the backlash I have received from the media, because I still am in high school and I still am a minor. But third of all, because I was trying to press legal action against her, and I didn't want my case to be tampered with due to my social media posts. For starters, I was a fan. I did join her fan base in like 2018. I had a fan page and everything. And I went on a tour stop in Washington, D.C. in 2018 to meet her for the very first time. Now, at the time, there was a lot of other influencers on this tour. We went to solemnly take pictures. Like, it was for fans to meet their favorite creators. Now, over the time of 2018 to 2019, she would talk to fans that I ended up becoming friends with. We had mutual friends, and I was then introduced to her through, she added me on Snapchat, and we would talk every now and then. It was all kept to a normal, cordial level.
I really don't like it at all. The fact that she was so willing to meet up with fans, and I mean, that's fine and dandy, right? But when you are trying to start relationships with your fans, like being friends with them to where you are frequently meeting them at meetups and stuff over and over and over again, it's creepy. It really is, and it's very unprofessional, and it's not good for your look.
Now, in August of 2019, she had a tour stop in my hometown that I went to, which I went with two of my friends, and after the show, I was talking with her. She brought me upstairs to see the venue. It was more of a secluded thing from the rest of the people that were there to attend. I also attended another one in December of 2019, so by the third time of me meeting her in person, she knew who I was just based off of seeing me. Now in 2020, I still was keeping it going with this fan page, and I had a lot of mutual friends that talked to her, and we would all FaceTime and group FaceTimes, but slowly it started sectoring off to just private FaceTime calls between the two of us. In April of 2020, things did start to get a little more personal. It was causing issues between her and her ex-boyfriend, Cody. He was concerned about things, all of that.
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna lie. If you are suspicious of your girlfriend dating a 13-year-old, why didn't he lock it down? And why would he come out with this apology type video on how she cheated on him, trying to make the situation a little bit better? I'm just confused here now. I think maybe he was blinded by Zoe at this time, just so in love with Zoe, he wanted to make the situation better, and I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like that. Thumbs down for homie for that, but him coming back and giving Connor his flowers and basically saying he appreciates him for coming back and talking about the situation is a thumbs up. So I really don't know what Cody's goal was with any of it. It just really seems like he was caught up in it, and yeah, I just can't say nothing about Cody.
Now my birthday is on May 10th, and at the time it was COVID, so I was having a drive-by birthday party past my house. My mom had reached out to Zoe to see if she'd be able to make it out here because she knew how much I had idolized her and thought it would make my whole birthday if she was able to come here to surprise me. It didn't end up working out, and she came out here on Memorial Day, which was only like a week or two after my birthday, and things were a little uncomfortable for the time being, but everything was normal. Now it was about 2 weeks later, the first week of June, when her and her ex-boyfriend had broken up, and she was in Tennessee at the time with her friend Amber, which then they both drove out here instantly to come visit me. Now, I was under the impression that they were only coming to visit for a week, but because they had both just gotten fresh out of relationships, they both made the decision to move here for a fresh start.
God, it's so weird. She just got out of a relationship with Cody and instantly was like, yep, I'm going on to the next big thing. A 13-year-old, and I'm moving to a whole nother city or state, however far she was. It's ridiculous. I didn't know that this situation was this bad. Or actually, nobody did, because nobody gave him the time of day to listen to him. Everybody just dogpiled onto him and said, go get your bag, girlfriend. You don't need to care about these boys. These boys ain't nothing. That's all it got summed up to back then. But now that this video came out, I really hope something is done about it. And the fact that she's 19 thinking that it's okay to just come over to a 13-year-old's house, you know how awkward that had to have probably been? He probably wanted to play games or something that day, but now he's got two full grown adult women in his room and he doesn't know what to do. He's just stuck. And they were all probably sitting there making the most awkward and cringy TikToks of all time.
Now, prior to her coming and visiting me, she did discuss with me on the phone that she liked me. I thought she was messing around. I thought it was just a funny little prank. She told me that she liked me and that when she came to visit me in May, she wanted to hold my hand. She wanted to, kind of be more intimate. Now, at the time that she had came here, I had just turned 13, maybe a week prior. I had a very close friend group at the time that I would talk to, that I had voiced about being a little uncomfortable with the fact of knowing that she liked me and her still coming here. But I was under the impression I only had to see her for a week, so I was in fear of if anything were to go wrong, I only have to deal with her for a week and I can move along and not speak to her again. Now, because she did make the ultimate decision to come and move here, we continued to get closer and closer and closer. Now, in June, she did kiss me. She did start to get more personal. She would try to seclude me off from my friends, from my family, try to get me away, whatever. Now, if you were on social media back in this timeline, you could see that I defended her for everything she was ever accused for, canceled for, etc. I was so strung up and just trying to process real life because someone that I'd idolized for years was now living in my hometown, was somebody that was becoming my best friend, someone very close to me. And I was so caught up and just, wow, how is this real? That I wasn't paying attention to what was actively happening to me in the time being. Now, she kissed me, and as time went on, things started picking up to a worse and worse level.
I feel so bad for 13-year-old Connor, and I feel bad for him because this is a memory he's gonna have to deal with forever. Imagine sitting there telling your friends, and I already used this little imagine scenario thing, but just imagine you're sitting there, you're telling your friends, no, I don't want this girl coming over, this 19-year-old, I don't want her in my room, I don't want her in my house, hopefully she'll only be here for a week, and she didn't even end up being there for only a week, she moved out there. You know how stressed he had to have been for the whole time she was around him, kissing him, doing the things she did, just being real awkward, trying to have an adult relationship with a child. And while I was thinking about the power dynamic stuff, I only thought about their ages. I didn't think about the fact that he was a fan and had fan pages and all this other stuff. But that's even crazier that even he at that time was caught up in something like that, and of course anybody would, but it's crazy that he points that out now because, yeah, it's there. The power dynamic of him being a fan and the age. She just took full advantage of it, and it's disgusting. It seems like she'll take advantage of anything.
She would engage in sexual conversations with me, sending me pictures, calling me on the phone, doing things on the phone with me, etc. Now, keep in mind, I still was very highlighted by the fact that this girl was in my life because it was a surreal thing to me that I was too afraid to speak up and have her hate me and wonder where things would end up. And a lot of people ask where my parents were at this time, but growing up, I've been bullied all throughout middle school ever since I was younger. I didn't have a lot of friends, so straight off the bat, my parents thought that this was a good thing, and seeing how happy it made me from the start, that they thought that it would be a good thing for us to become friends and for us to be hanging out, whatever. There was obviously a lot of restrictions on things. My mom would question things at times. She never thought that it was not weird, but I gave her that reassurance that things were fine. Now, I specifically remember there was one specific day that we were hanging out and I was at her house and she had kind of just thrown herself on top of me and asked me if I was ready. My heart was beating super fast and I still specifically remember her asking me, "Are you okay? Like, your heart's beating super fast, are you okay?" And I was in a moment of shock. I never thought things would ever evolve to this level. This girl had 20 million followers. I knew she had a career on the line. I always told myself she would never ever do anything to mess with her career or ruin her career.
So you know how she earlier said that it was just kissing? Well, that's a blatant lie. And he's going to prove that he is telling the truth because he dropped the most hardcore evidence of her talking about it even. And you really gotta feel bad for his parents. Him being bullied as a kid is really sad, right? And seeing your kid get bullied is very, very sad. And I'm gonna keep saying sad because this whole piece that he talked about right here is sad. And their first friend, well, their child's first friend is a influencer, a giant influencer. And the first thing she does really is start a relationship with him and be weird towards him. You really gotta feel bad for his parents because they probably didn't think that this would happen. Yeah, his mother thought it was weird that an adult is being friendly with a minor, and rightfully so, but she probably didn't think she would go that far, especially with what Connor said. She had a career on the line. She had so much going for her, but nah, she threw it all away.
In this moment, I was in a state of shock. She asked me if I was okay and if I wanted to, and I responded with yes, although my body language was very obvious that I was uncomfortable with the situation. This was a continuous event that continued to happen over and over again. And when things were publicized back in October of 2020, I had talked to authorities and I lied to the police for her.
So for the rest of the first video, he talks about how the cops discredited his whole investigation or all of the evidence he had on Zoe and what happened to him, and that's awful that they did that. And I really feel like they did that because of the fact that he stuck up for her and lied to them for her. And he also said in this video that the cops claimed that it was a publicity stunt, and I really get where they're coming from with that, but he had so much evidence and it's going to be shown right now. Why did they just ignore it? If it's there, it's there. They should have done something. Throughout this video, Connor also stated that she would explicitly say that she would off herself if anything got leaked or if they ever broke up, if anything happened to him. And it's just insane saying that to a minor and just abusing that power dynamic. So we're going to look at the full video of evidence that Connor is going to show us, and I want you guys to answer this question for me. Do you think that Zoe is innocent or guilty?
To put it into words without this being taken down, I just want you guys to picture an adult relationship with everything involved, as well as the sexual factors. Majority of the sexual things you can think of off the top of your head very much so did occur. And before I dive into actually showing the evidence, I do want to state that this was all given to the police, and I was still shut down and told that she was an attractive girl, and am I sure that I didn't like it or enjoy it. I also do want to clarify that whether I gave in the time or not, I still was only 13 years old, and legally it was not the age of consent. Therefore, still does not make it anywhere near okay. I was also harassed and bullied out of school. I spent all of my high school years doing online school, and I just now returned to in-person this year for my senior year because I wanted to have at least 1 year that I could remember and look back on my childhood years. I still am in therapy, still facing the trauma of this, and I will continue to face the trauma for this for the rest of my life. A lot of things people don't realize is that you are made off of your childhood, and when you experience such gruesome sexual trauma as a child, it is only going to continue to affect me more and more the older that I get.
So he talks a little bit more about the situation. I'm sorry for cutting off this little piece here. I meant to play it all the way through along with the evidence, but what he said here was just so crazy. The cop saying that she was a attractive girl and he could have just accepted it at the time and said yes. What? I really gotta say, that is disgusting if the police did say that. And they probably did. And I want to say something here. Boys can be victims too, and the police saying that is just degrading of that statement as a whole.
So this video that I'm about to show is a video of her on the phone with mutual friends of mine after everything had happened and when polygraphs were being threatened for a lie detector test. This was her explaining how to lie on it.
Listen, if you want to lie on a polygraph, all you gotta do is just read, like, when they ask you the question, think of the question as them asking, like, did you sleep with your dad? Then your heart races. I was like, what the? So I'm just scared that, like, Amber's gonna go live and try to say that Connor and I, like, and then Cody was texting me saying that he has proof that we did. He doesn't, like, nobody has proof of it, because we did it in secret.
This right here is her admitting that she indeed did take my innocence, but there was no proof of it because we obviously didn't record it. My messages were on the top, commenting on how Zoe has literally messed me up so bad mentally and destroyed me as a person. And when my friends were gonna come stay here for a week, I was voicing I was scared to spend the night in a hotel with her. This was me texting my friend saying, how do I get myself out of this? I'm very uncomfortable. And also that she let off a little bit and it wasn't as bad as it was before.
By the way, y'all sound kind of stupid when you try to say Connor's dad because he can't even produce that type of stuff.
Oh my god.
You're not old enough. You're not old enough.
This message was her saying, don't make me S your D again, which I think we can all infer what this means. You guys can pause to read these, but this is her telling me that she's been risking her reputation for liking me and that she doesn't want to go to jail, as well as stressing that there were being other videos sent around of us. Thing weird about this. In this screenshot, you can see that she's laughing about it, saying, ha ha ha, I'm going to jail. Do you guys think prison has designer? The talk that she had is another angle of her directly, pulling it up and showing it on FaceTime. One you can pause and read, but this was her closest friend at the time who literally had stated that she could go to jail for knowing about it and not doing anything, and the top half is covered for privacy and personal reasons. This is another one, her stating that she was harming herself because I said some mean things to her, and that she told me that she would bleed dry for me, which is very, very manipulative, as well as would send me pictures of her self-harm. I do want to say that there is more evidence behind this. I obviously just can't fit it all into one video. TikTok will only allow me to update 35 items into the video, but I do want to say that there is a lot more that specifically shows, but this in itself right here I think clarifies well enough that it was a lot more than just a kiss. I also want to emphasize as well that I have been making videos about it throughout the years, and I think that what a lot of people need to process is that it's common sense. If all that I had done was just kissed her, it would be absolutely diabolical for me to still be on the internet 5 years later speaking about it. She was not entirely secretive. She had a very, very, very bad history of thinking she could trust people. Therefore, she would tell lots and lots of people about what me and her did. I do also want to state that she did text close friends of mine personal details on our experiences, which would make my friends feel very uncomfortable. That I do not have the proof to give right now, but I can reassure and validate that this did happen. I just want to say I thank you guys so much for all of your patience and support and for everything you guys are contributing to me in my situation. I have faced a lot of backlash for years, and I'm very, very happy to see the outcome of this, but morally, I just want to spread awareness on stuff like this and make it valid that men...
Gotta really commend Connor here, because as a 13-year-old, you really wouldn't think he would have all of that documented. But he did. He knew right from the jump that this was a bad and scary situation, so he started recording things. And now that the evidence is here, the public opinion hopefully will change on Zoe Laverne. And guys, the whole "we did it in secret," what Zoe said, that is enough for me right there to just say, yeah, they did do something. And I really do believe Connor when he says that it was what it was. So, yeah, Zoe Laverne is a problematic TikTok predator, and I really don't know how she still has her fan base till this day. So, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and let me know how you feel about these videos. And every week now, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, me and my homie Cheech, we're going to be going live every week for Lolcow Laugh Line. So hopefully we'll see you there. And as always, love y'all.